Simple sells. I have been preaching this for so long, and I think that along the way, I even myself got off track. So, in today's episode, I really want to talk about why simple sells and why it's going to convert the best when it comes to you executing on your marketing strategies, you executing on getting leads, and then ultimately getting those new client enrollments or those core sales. So, if you're ready to make some more money and do it in a way that feels in alignment, that feels good for you, that allows you to actually live your life and also make a lot of money, then you're going to love today's episode. So, let's dive right in, y'all. So I'm sitting here and it's a Monday. I'm filming on a Monday. And I just had a good, huge reflection. And I was like, I need to film a podcast because I look back at my journey specifically over the last almost 4 years. And I've had a lot of trial and error, I would say. I have tried so many damn things. Y'all, literally, if it's so funny because people will ask me, oh, have you watched this movie or have you seen this show? And I'm like, no. But then when my business friends talk to me and they're like, oh, have you tried this funnel or have you heard of this? I'm like, yep, I did it. Yep, I know what it's about. I'm like the queen of trying it all. So I guess that I have the upper hand because I'm so willing to try so many different things. And I think it's been really helpful for my journey. So not just for me, but for my clients, because I am in the business and marketing space and the make more money space. And, you know, when I think about business and I think about marketing specifically and business models, I have realized one thing. It's really no different than anything else when it comes to things like going in and out of style. So I had this like recollection over the weekend and I was like, you know, it's just kind of like different like body shapes or different colors come in and out of style. It's the same thing with marketing. And what I'm kind of seeing is that a lot of the marketing strategies kind of go in and out. And one of the big things specifically that I've noticed is that as the market has shifted a little bit, there's some new exciting things that people are testing. But when I really think about it, it's not really that new. Like there's not a lot of new strategies. It all kind of goes back to these three core things that I'm going to talk about today. And just know that it's really about, at the end of the day, y'all, it's really about you finding what works for you, period. Like, there's so many different things and so many different ways to market and sell and offer creation. There's so many different ways, but at the core of it, it's really about showing up, serving your clients, meeting them where they're at, rinse and repeat, period. Like that's what it's about. So let's kind of talk about when I think about the idea of simple sales and like what that really means to me and what I want you to really just like hold up as a belief today, a possible belief if you don't have it already. Again, when I look back at all the things that I've tried, helped my clients with, learned from other people, again, it's these three core things. It's about creating offers, marketing offers, and selling offers. Like that's how you're going to get more clients. That's how you're going to get more enrollments, etc. And again, we have to really think through what's most suiting for our current lifestyle, and not only that, but also our capacity. It's just like a season, right? It's like winter comes and goes, summer comes and goes, etc. So it's the same thing with our marketing efforts and things of that nature. So when I look at my clients' businesses, one of the first things when they come to me I'm looking at is what are they selling? And I think a lot of people have it wrong. They think they're selling this course, or they think they're selling this workbook, or they think they're selling this program. When in reality, we have to look at the core of what we're selling. Because if you're helping people get clients, you're selling relationships. If you're helping people lose weight, you're selling freedom, right? If you're helping people get into like healthy relationships, right? You're not only selling relationships, but you're also selling peace of mind. You're also selling you're selling this like long-term ROI, because when you're getting into a committed relationship, like that's a return on investment. That's work ethic. That's hard work getting into relationships. So we really have to start to think about what are the intangible things that we're also selling along with our courses, coaching programs, VIP days, or what have you. So at the core of that, when we think about simple selling, like that's the whole theme of this podcast, I think so often people overcomplicate what they're actually selling and they get so far away from the thing that they're selling that when people find them or when people are interested, they have a hard time explaining what it is that they're doing or what it is that they're selling. Okay, so really think through and take yourself through that process of like, what am I really selling? Am I really selling weight loss or am I selling freedom? Am I selling confidence? Am I selling feeling sexy in a swimsuit? Am I selling like, what am I really selling? And that's what I want you to think about. And we want to get to a point where our offers basically sell themselves. And I'm going to give you this example for my own business because that's the first thing that's coming to mind right now. But I'm not just in the business of helping people get clients, right? There's so many layers underneath that, right? There's the offer layer. But most people, when they come to me, are like, oh, my offer is great, etc. So that's not what most people are saying that they want. Now, some, if they're typically more early stage, etc. But for the bulk of the people that I serve, what they're saying is that, like, I want more clients. But actually, they know, like, they need more leads because once you get to the point of you have enough leads, like the clients will follow. So we have to find that middle point of what do our clients really want and what do they really need, okay? So it's really about finding that really fine balance of understanding what the market's commanding and what's actually the root problem or the root cause of why the person that you're looking to help hasn't already gotten the result. Because here's the thing, like if they had, and sometimes people have the knowledge, but people are not paying for, they're not paying for a bunch of information. They're paying for aggregated information and they're paying for an outcome that they could hope to achieve inside of your container. So it doesn't matter if the container necessarily is delivered in a self-study or a group program or one-to-one. Because most people, to be honest, have some preference, but most people aren't really sitting around being like, I only will take self-study courses, or I only do one-to-one, or I only do groups. They're just looking for the person in the program and the offer that can provide them the results that they're looking for. So when we think about getting really simple, because simple is what sells, stop overpacking your programs. You don't need a million different modules. Now, there are going to be some cases, like for some of the concepts that we teach, like ads in funnels, where it is a little bit more meaty, right? There is a lot more depth, but we do our best to condense it down into bite-sized information so that our clients can get results, okay? And when I think about making your offers really simple, like focus on one big result, right? One level of execution. I often get, especially when people are like, well, I want to do a group program, but I just don't feel like my clients all come in at one point and they need this, that, and the third. They need their hands held. And my pushback and challenge is always like, they don't. They're adults. They don't need all that. They just need the exact aggregated information, and they may need some support to get there to create the big transformation. Okay, they don't need a million different, modules and lessons. They just need that exact information. So when we think about simple selling, it's back to the basics of like the components of a really good offer is A, understanding who it's for, being clear on that. B, also understanding who it's not for. C, understanding what the transformation is going to look like at the end. And then D, right, being able to step by step take anybody that is your ideal client through the process and get those repeatable results. Right, those are the basis of a good offer, okay? And as a reminder, people don't pay for the information. Like, they're paying for the total outcome and what they can walk away with, okay? So getting back to simple sales, like have an amazing offer. Now, the other piece I want to tag on to this is when we think about being simple, I think that sometimes it can get overcomplicated. I think that most people should start with one core signature flagship offer, right? And build off of that, okay? When I think about building a flagship offer, like it's something that you want to be known for. And a lot of times when you haven't hit consistent 30 to 50K months yet, you don't necessarily have that like imprint in the industry. You don't have that like people are coming to you, right? They're looking at you still as a generalist, and that's not a bad thing. You can still get paid well. And also, there's so much more room for you to grow, to double down. Now, here's the thing, this is not to say that you sell one offer the rest of your life, okay? This is to say that become known for one thing. Like, the thing that we're known for is really helping people generate leads, like on autopilot. Like, that's our thing. For a long time, I, did the group coaching thing, and I've loved that. And right, as we start to transform our identity into the next level version, like, I really want to be known as the lead girl, and not just the lead girl, but the girl that helps people get leads that convert into sales. Okay, so you have to kind of decide, and this is going to evolve. Like, you're not going to always be known for the same thing, but when you're really building a name for yourself, building up your business, building up your authority online, whether you're at 10K a month, 50K a month, or even 100K a month, it doesn't matter. You still want to be known for something, right? Because here's the thing, baby boo, specialists get paid higher than generalists. So it's so much easier to focus on one thing and do one thing really well than trying to do 50 billion different things. Because here's the thing, eventually you can do whatever you want, right? And it's not saying you can't do whatever you want right now, but when I think about the big picture, when I think about the longevity, when I think about people coming to you because you're known for something, that is being simple. Doesn't mean that it's basic or minimal or anything like that, but it's simple, it's digestible. Your clients know exactly what they're going to get. They know exactly what you're known for because you've put in the reps. Okay, so when you look at your product suite or your offers or what you're selling right now, does it make logical sense? Like, does it build on one another, or are you selling a million different things? Because if you are selling a million different things that don't actually align and they're not in tandem with one another, it's going to be really confusing for the end client and the end consumer. And then also it's going to be confusing for you, because now you're going to be wondering, why aren't people buying in the levels that I want? Why are people coming to me for, just this thing, or like trying to come to me for all these things, but you feel like you're not actually making a lot of progress? Well, to double back on that, the best thing that you can do is strip a lot of that back and get really focused. So ask yourself, what do you want to be known for? What are you really passionate about? And what do you most enjoy delivering to your clients? Like, for me, I love helping people get leads. Like, I'm just so I'm really freaking good at it. And B, I get fired up about it. Like, my whole body language just changed, because it's what makes me so excited, because I know at the core of getting clients, growing your business, making more revenue, you need to have leads, right? And that's why that's important to me. So I want you to figure out what you can get your energy and belief behind, and like let that be the thing that you're known for, right? And then don't have this all or nothing thing. Don't have this all or nothing mindset that you can't be known for more later on, right? Right now, it's just about to get to those 50K months. Like, it's about having that cornerstone, those 20K to 50K months. It's about having that cornerstone. And then from there, it's like a building block. You build upon it. Okay. So yeah, being simple with your offers and like having one main thing, being consistent, selling that thing, having people know what you're good at. Let that build your brand and let that speak for itself. So then in 6 months, a year, whatever, when you're ready to branch out, you can, because they know you know your shit, and you're ready. Like, they know, okay? And your clients are gonna start referring you, and it's gonna be great, okay? And then from there, you can sell other offers on the back end, create a digital product shop, do whatever you want later, but just get known for one thing, okay? So that's how you're gonna be able to sell more offers, is selling more of the one thing that you're really good at versus trying to sell a lot of different things when you're just okay at all those other things, okay? That's the first one. The second thing is, on a day-to-day basis, right, we need to have those offers, but the second thing is we need to market our offers consistently. So I'm going to give you two sides of this. You need to market in two different ways. One, you need to have people coming to you. You need traffic, okay? That is a part of marketing. That's lead generation specifically, but that is a part of marketing. The second part of like really great, simple marketing is also having a way to continuously nurture your audience, okay? Whether that's through content, through a funnel, it doesn't really matter. I would recommend a combination of both. But when I think about, when you're trying to get your focus on, when you're trying to get focused and get simple, because maybe you've overcomplicated your business, you want to have one platform, that one way to generate those leads, like you want to drive that traffic to you, right? Or something that's like SEO based, like TikTok, YouTube, podcasts. But my favorite, of course, is going to be ads all day long, because that's going to bring people to me the fastest, because I love SEO and SEO works really well. And I think it's a good long game. Like, you should definitely have something that's SEO based long term, because SEO is search engine optimization is intent based. So think about when you go to YouTube, you're typing in, how to pack for vacation. That's intent based. So now you're going to get a YouTuber or a podcaster that's talking about how to pack for a vacation. Okay, so you're creating content that directly solves somebody's problem because they're searching for it. So that's why I believe you should have some sort of evergreen SEO based platform. So 5 years from now, people can still find your content and you're still relevant. Okay. To add the other layer to that, having ads to that is going, like, okay, let me figure out how to say this. So think about it like this: SEO based content, YouTube, podcasts, it brings people to you. Okay. And the same with ads. Now, they're not necessarily, they're not going to be there the same ad's not going to be there 5 years from now, but that ad can run for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or a year. So you're building your list, you're building your audience, and you're getting people to you, okay? And you're getting to those people, those clients, before your competition, which is amazing, okay? So you need a traffic source. So whatever fits best for you, be simple. You don't need to be everywhere, right away. Eventually, you do want to expand if you want to. That's my recommendation. But right now, getting a consistent 20, 30, 50K months, you should be focused on having one primary platform that drives you traffic. And if you can swing it, ads is going to be my recommendation. And then from there, building out YouTube, podcasts, TikTok, etc. Okay. So that's the first side of like true lead generation. Like, that is lead generation at its core. Now, okay, we have those leads coming to us. So now we got to give them a little something, something. We can't just like put them in our ecosystem and be like, all right, bye, sis. Like, we can't do that. So we have to nurture them. We have to get them bought in. We have to get them comfortable and get them knowing and get them like that know, like, trust factor has to be built. So when we think about know, like, trust, right, the lead generation part is know. So now we have to get them to like and trust us. And we can do that through a couple of different ways. My favorite way to keep it really simple is you can do this through a very simple, some sales psychology based videos. But if you want to even go simpler, I would do build out a workbook or a PDF lead magnet that's anywhere from 2 to 10 pages, and really just detail your expertise out on that workbook or that lead magnet. Pick something that's broad enough that more of the mass market would be interested in, but not something that is so vague that they could just Google, right? Again, it's back to compiling aggregated information all in one spot. So for example, if you're a weight loss coach, you could do a workbook on how to lose your first 7 pounds with keto or first 10 pounds with keto. And you can talk in that workbook how to do the mindset you need, a list of different foods that they can start with, and then also how to wrap it all in holistically with exercise. So you could do a workbook on that, give them some actionable steps, and then at the end of that, right, at the end of that workbook, or say you wanted to do some videos, things like that. But I would say, to make it really simple, just do a basic workbook. You can get it done in a couple hours, 3 to 4 hours. Put that on a Canva PDF, and then from there, at the end of that workbook, you can do a call to action for people to book a call with you, right? So now we're establishing more trust, okay? So before we talk about the selling part in just a second, that's the marketing. That's it. You just need something that's running for you in the background 24/7. The issue that I see most coaches, service providers, course creators make is that the only way that their clients are being nurtured is if they post a piece of content. Now, obviously, I create this podcast every week. Obviously, I create content. I think content's great, but we need to have the mindset that content or organic marketing can be optional, because there's going to be days when you don't feel like it. There's going to be days when you're tired. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all about, sometimes we just have to, get through and do the things that are uncomfortable. And also, there's going to be times when you're sick. There's going to be times when life feels really hard. But that shouldn't mean that your sales drop, okay? And that also shouldn't mean, right, if we really think about impact, that shouldn't mean that your clients don't get served. And a lot of times when we're just posting on organic social media, A, we're not driving new leads, and B, we're not nurturing those new leads in a proper way. We're not showing them the complete way or the complete system that we can help them with. People buy from people they want to learn from. And if you are not, A, getting in front of new people, and then B, if you don't show them exactly how you can help them, it's all about that aggregated information. If they have to sift through 1,000 podcasts or 1,000 pieces of content on your Instagram, right? And it's no shade. I post. I do it because I enjoy it, but it's not super consistent. The only thing consistent really is my podcast these days. But as far as my like Instagram game or Facebook game, there's no schedule. I post when I feel like it. And honestly, like if any coach is telling you that you in order for you to feel worthy or in order for you to like do a job well done, you need to be posting all day, every day, I would have a serious conversation like that. For me, at least how I run my business, that's not my MO. And I know if you're listening to this podcast, y'all know I'm all about the upgrade, and the upgraded person, the upgraded woman has systems and processes working for her to bring her clients, okay, period, okay? So when I think about the marketing side, like you need to be marketing to your audience every single day. You're not only marketing to that audience every single day, but you also need to be marketing and generating leads every single day. But that doesn't mean you need to be doing that manually, okay? It's a big reframe and a mindset shift, but once you understand that like you don't have to work hard, you truly have to work smart and let the systems and the ads do the heavy lifting for you, it's going to completely change the game for you. And it's going to allow you to start to tap into that freedom that you started your business for in the first place. Okay, so marketing is twofold: driving people to you every single day and nurturing those people. And you can do that completely on autopilot, and then filter in when you feel like it, showing up on social media. Okay, so that's that. The last thing is we need to really focus on, like, when we think about simple selling, we also need to sell simply, right? We need to do it in a way that's going to be easy, that's going to be consistent, and that's going to be, it's going to be a way to tap into our clients and our leads every day. Okay, so for me, that for a long time at the beginning of my business, that looks like doing sales calls. Like I would say, first year of my business, I did sales calls, and I really like to call them more so enrollment calls because I had this process, because I had ads and funnels, and at the time I was doing some more content, like because I had that in a specific strategy and structure. From there, when people got on an enrollment call with me, it wasn't anything that they felt like they were, oh my gosh, being bait and switched, or oh my gosh, like I had no idea she was selling to me. They knew what it was, right? So when we're getting on sales calls or enrollment calls with people that are unqualified, we have to really ask ourselves, okay, where in the process were they not nurtured enough? Where in the process was there a breakdown, right? And once we can like solve that, the enrollment, A, your conversion rates are going to skyrocket up. B, you're going to get only the most qualified. Doesn't mean every single person that gets on the call can afford or is going to buy, but you're going to do your due diligence. So by the time they even get to you, they're worthy of being there. And a lot of y'all, especially with sales calls, like you're overcomplicating it, trying to do like 18 different emails and then this different video and then that video and this video. Like, no, keep it really simple. It's like add to a free PDF or a small little training series to book a call. That's it, okay? Yes, there are going to be a few little nurturing pieces, but the simplicity in that is what's going to set you free, okay? Now, on the flip side of that, I did sales enrollment calls for a long time. Shout out to my friend Sasha. I think it was last week or the week before. She said this so brilliantly. She said this so brilliantly, and she said that sales calls, it's not that she didn't have the, like, I'm paraphrasing, but it's not that she didn't want to do them or that she didn't have the ambition or the drive to do them. It was a boundary. Like, I think she has 4 kids, a husband. She's also an actress. Like, she runs a really high-level coaching business and has a marriage. Like, she has a lot going on. And for her and her own mental bandwidth and capacity, not doing sales calls was a boundary. And I always try to figure out how to say it because I haven't done sales calls in 3 years, and it's not because I don't want to engage with my people. Like, I love my clients. I love the people that we talk to every single day. But because of the life that I lead, right? And granted, I don't have kids yet. I'm not married. We're on the way there in the next few years. I wanted to set myself up in my business for a life that I could maintain. period. And for me specifically, enrollment calls weren't part of that. And I also knew I didn't want to manage this massive sales team for the long term. I didn't want to do that. So that's why I did DM enrollments. I've done that since the end of 2019. There was some overlap between me doing sales calls and DMs, but then eventually I just sold in the DMs. And that has been a complete game changer for me. So it's a boundary, and I think that you get to like earn that. I think that at the end of the day, like, you may be earlier on in your coaching business, in your journey, so you may not have the skill set yet, but if you're hungry, if you're determined, and you're willing to learn, like, DM sales are a complete game changer. Okay, it is different than selling on the phone or like enrolling on the phone, but if you have to make the other mindset switch too, is that, and I even want to catch myself here, you're not really selling in the DMs, right? Because up until that point, your ideal client, your audience, your lead should already be sold. Okay, so now this is just like cat's out the bag. They're already ready. They're already pre-sold by the time they get to you. Okay, so my recommendation is usually get to, 10K months or so, somewhere in there, and then start to make that transition to selling in the DMs. Okay, so that is really what selling looks like simply, right? Like simple sales. And I think people overcomplicate it. They try to be on every single platform. They try to sell a million different offers. They try to have 15 different marketing funnels, and they wonder why nothing is working or why it's not working at the level they know it could. And I've even I'm not even preaching to the choir right now. I've done this. Because I like to test so much, I've at times have left things that are working like a freaking charm, trying to find grass is greener on the other side. And you know what? I always come back to the basics. So I want to I want to shed a light and bring light to y'all that sometimes it can feel boring. Sometimes it can feel monotonous, right? And that's where, as CEOs, we have to have enough emotional capacity and bandwidth to know that I'm not going to go F up my business because I'm bored. I'm going to go maybe add an arm or an extension to my business, but let the core business functions run, right? Let simple sell for you. Like, you don't have to overdo it. And I think that it's so easy to get caught up in that because we have shiny object syndrome. I know, I'm like squirrel every time I see a new strategy, but I have to come back home to myself and come back home to the truth that my audience loves simple. They don't like complicated. They don't want a million different payment options and a million different this. They want to know what they can buy, how they can buy it, and they want to pay me, right? And that's the belief that I have always carried, and that's the belief that y'all get to have, because oftentimes when we are rooted in overcomplicating things, it really comes from the belief that we're not good enough. It comes from the belief that imposter syndrome, which I honestly don't really think is that real. It can be, but I think that you get out of it by taking action. And this overcomplicating, over-delivering, trying to be too much comes from a place of insecurity that we're not as good as we think we are. But in reality, you just have to look for the evidence. You have to look for the evidence, and the evidence always appears when you least or most expect it. Okay, so it's about just doing the thing that works really well. This is why I've been able to be so consistent over the last almost 4 years, because I've just keep doing what works. And the times when our revenue has dipped or it's not where I want it to be, it's because I've been doing too much, right? And I need to be doing a lot less, okay? Some people do the most with the least, okay? The least amount of capacity, but they're trying to do too much. Just cut the shit. You don't need all that. I promise you, your clients don't want perfect. They don't want extra. They just want what it is that you can help them with, okay? So in the year 2023, or whenever you're listening to this, maybe in 2029, whatever, my belief still will stand the same, is that simple sells. And you just have to figure out what that simple is for you. And I just, laid it all out on the podcast, but I think the core of this really in online business, course creation, coaching, is really setting up your customer journey so that it's simple, it's easy, it's digestible, and it gets the people what they need and what they want. And that's really all that matters. So if you're having a mindset flick and you're just having these blocks and you're wondering why it's not working, or not working in the level that you want, my challenge to you is to go back to what works. Go back to being simple, create your offers, market your offers, and sell your offers. Do that every single day. You do it, your automation does it, your team does it. I don't care who does it, as long as it gets done, and watch the abundance start to pour in and overflow. And from there you just get to make different moves. You get to experience different things. You get to have a different set of choices once your business is operating at a level that's consistent. And once you get consistent, the sky is the limit. So hopefully this podcast was helpful. Simple really does sell, and it's a constant reminder. I'm sure I'm gonna have to put this on my list to listen to this podcast again in a couple years, because it's so easy to get distracted. But when we can focus and when we can stay simple, right, it's gonna sell. And people love simple. People love to buy and they love to shop. And if you can make it easy for them to buy and easy for them to find you, I promise you, you're always going to win. So hopefully this podcast is helpful. I'm off to go enjoy a beautiful week here and just round out May. I'm so excited that I got so much clarity this month on simple sales. I've always believed that, and I've gotten sidetracked on that too, but this is just a fierce reminder to stand in that truth and know that your people want you. They want what you have to offer, and you don't have to be extra for them to buy it. So I love you guys, and hopefully this was helpful. I'll talk to you in the next episode.